Well, hello and welcome to the In the Process podcast. Today, here with me is Berenice
Gomez Martinez.
Martinez. So I know you like just nomás Jasmine. No, I know you as Berenice, so that's why
you've been knowing me for like 7 years.
I know,
already.
but it's not in my head like freshly all the time.
Yeah.
But okay, Jasmine Berenice Gomez Martinez.
Yes.
And I love it.
Oh yeah. Okay.
And and we're here to talk to her about her journey coming from Mexico, specifically Delicias, all the way to El Paso here in the United States. She is the proud owner of Nord Glam
Woohoo!
boutique.
JJ. Very proud.
It's based in Juarez, right?
Yeah.
Based in Juarez, and she works as a project manager here in the U.S., here in El Paso, in my hometown. So
cool. Okay. So as he mentioned, my name is Jasmine Berenice Gomez Martinez. I guess everyone knows me professionally as Jasmine Gomez, but everyone else around me call me Bere. Yes, I come from Delicias. It's like, 5 hours from El Paso. I love El Paso. I guess I mature here. I didn't grow up, but I mean, my whole adult life, it's been here. I am a project manager. I've been working for 3 years already in that position, more like 2.5. But yeah, I love what I do. I love being an engineer. I love my everyday 8 to 5 job. However, I am very passionate about fashion. I'm very passionate about shopping. So I guess my mom, actually, she sells clothes. And I never thought that I was going to be doing that. But here I am. And yeah, that's me. I'm Mexican more than anything. And I am a mom of 3 dogs, which I love.
yeah, they're really cute. Two schnauzers like me, and then like
my Cocker Spaniel.
Spaniel.
I'm so happy to have 3 dogs. And my little fish.
Oh yeah.
I used to have another one, but someone gave it to me in the party, and whenever I was gonna buy like the special things for him, he just gave up on me, bro.
Hey, I met that fish. I remember. Okay, so now that you introduced yourself, I wanted to talk first. We're gonna go in chronological order.
Okay.
On how you were in Mexico, how you ended up here, how we went both to UTEP, and then how you ended up having a project manager job, and how you opened your boutique. Because as we've discussed before, like after college, like it's just like, oh, what do I do now?
Yeah.
So that's why I was interested in talking to you, just because like opening a boutique and then being like across the border and then coming back and forth and then actually opening, like you have 2 locations or 3?
Right now I do have 2 locations, yeah.
Okay. And then you're like opening one and then opening another one, and it's going good, I want to say, what we've talked.
Yes, happily, proudly.
So let's talk about how did you ended up coming to UTEP? Like, how was it that you graduated from high school in Delicias and then came over here?
I was thinking these past weeks about that. I grew up in Mexico. We didn't get any exposure to Dr. Seuss, but I was exposed, certainly, I guess, because of the TV. And as weird as it sounds, one of my favorite movies is The Cat in the Hat. And I started exploring Dr. Seuss and whatever. So there is this thing like that says why fit in when you were born to stand out, right? And I didn't notice that I liked that. And I guess literally I noticed like a couple weeks ago. And when I was in high school, I just wanted to do a year abroad. But my parents were like, you're too young, or we can afford it. Like, what do you think? Like, we make money out of trees, or I mean, like, yeah, money comes from trees, But I decided that I wanted to explore somewhere else. So when I proposed to my mom going to a university that is based in Chihuahua. It's one of the campus at Tecnológico Monterrey, because they had an abroad program. And she's like, what do you think? Like, I can't afford that. Like, but I guess she always wanted to give me the best. And that's when she decided that I could explore some other options. And that's when I heard about UTEP. And I fell in love with it. I always knew that I wanted, well, I didn't always knew, but at that time, I know that there was nothing else that I enjoyed more than doing math and physics. And I knew I wanted to be an engineer.
Yeah.
So here in the UTEP had such a great program. My mom literally let me do everything by myself. Like, she just told me, what do you need? Like, which documents from my end do you need? Because I was a minor. Everything was in English. By that time, I had like I don't know, like good 70% of my English. So, by the way, if I forget a word right now, help me out. It's like I do express in English very good. It's just that, I don't know, sometimes, yeah. So, yeah, she let me do everything by myself. And I ended up getting accepted, like everyone. But it was different because I got accepted for my visa. That was a thing that, honestly, at that time, I wasn't even scared or anything, because I have never lived here. I didn't have anything here. So if I had it or yes, I still had my tourist visa.
Okay.
So that's how I decided to come in here, and just because I wanted to stand out, I wanted to do something different.
Okay, nice. Yeah. So now that you were, everything was clear to come here and everything, and then when you came here, did you find any like cultural or like language?
Oh my goodness! You know what? It's so funny because I feel like I have always said "ay" in my life. I always feel like it has been part of my language, and people saying like, "Oh, this is from El Paso," y yo, wait, I always said it. I don't know what you're talking about. However, one of the first things that I noticed is that some people still they're like very Mexican cultured, and they'll like say hi with a kiss. And then some of them will like give you a hug. Bro, like, it's still a thing. Like, literally this past week, that happened to me, where someone like leaned in. I'm like, am I giving you a Mexican cheek kiss, or am I hugging? Like, what am I doing? I guess that was one of the first cultural shocks as well. I come from a very small town. It's very still, with these traditions and all of that. So me seeing here the girls so empowered, and not only like empowered, I don't feel like Delicias doesn't have empowered women, but it's like they're so free and not judged. I did notice that, and I guess I still had my family values so into my core. And I'm not saying they were wrong, but it's just like those things that you have from a small town, So I did have that. And even El Paso is not that big or anything, but I did have that cultural shock in that sense. And other than that, El Paso is very like Mexican. But you know what was like the weirdest thing is that I didn't used to like flautas, neither hot dogs. And when I got here, like, oh my God, it's such a different thing.
Well, what do you think it was that it like added the thing that you liked?
From the flautas?
Yeah, and the flautas.
It's because in Delicias, the flautas are made of like ground beef with potato, which is good, but they have this sauce that is like vinegar with tomato sauce. And that's the way you eat flautas over there, with I think they put cebolla in it or some onion, but no, it's just different here. They put my mother is my mouth is watering. They have like, what is it, shredded beef with sour cream and all of that. Like, it's very different flautas from what I knew them. And with the hot dogs, it's just beef, the beef ¿cómo se dice? The
like the sausage?
Yeah, the sausage is from it's beef instead of being turkey. I don't like hot dogs. I always tell you like, oh, I don't want those hot dogs because they have turkey sausage. Yeah. So yeah.
So like, yeah, I mean, of what I've seen, like outside of El Paso, is that like here we like to mix a lot of things. Like what we use, what's in our disposals. I want to say that probably that's why, like food wise, you're like, it looks good. It's not as traditional. Yeah. It's more, I want to say like more modern per se, como they just add more stuff that is like we like in our like age range, instead of like being all traditional, like following the same recipe.
Yes, from the grandma's recipe.
Okay, so culture shock there was definitely. How about academically, coming from like...
Oh, you know what? Yes, that was like so cool because well, for me it was cool. I like to be as smart as, you know, and I remember when I came here, I come from a very good school that, like, when it comes to math and physics. When I get here, I went in straight to calculus. And I had this professor, I hope he's not hearing it, I don't think he is, but I don't even remember his name. But he was teaching this class, and he will, like, even forget or take this super long paths for doing something. And I was just, like, stick my hand out and be like, you're wrong, or that was not supposed to do, like, you can't do that, or stuff like that. So it was so fun because I had so much exposure to math that to me was super easy. I think I didn't struggle in that part. I did struggle a little bit. Not the cultural shock of the language. I feel like I got a very good level of English pretty fast. But I don't know, I guess we all have that college shock, you know? But academically, just that, I guess. I used to love going to my calculus class and just, like, chill out because it was
like it was easy for you, basically.
Yeah, I already had done calculus 1 and 2 when I was in high school. And I don't mean to brag, but my school was so good that whatever I had to do here wasn't a big deal, honestly.
Like, I'm not surprised because I was in Juarez, I mean, until like 3rd grade. It was like 8. But when now, like, living here and going to school, like, I would see people come in and like every year there was somebody new from Juarez, and they would say like, yeah, like, we saw that probably a year ago, or like 2 years ago. And in my eyes, I'm just like how? And this is something that I noticed growing up, is that being in the U.S., they paint this image like, oh my God, United States, like the best and everything. Yeah. And seeing that other people are like coming from Juarez, they're like, oh, we already saw this like a long time ago. It's like, it makes you think like somebody's in the wrong here. Like they just like, you know,
the educational program. I guess it's just because I feel like in Mexico, they make you, at least where I come from, I can't speak for my whole country, but where I come from, it's a very actually engineering-driven town. Yeah. So they focus a lot on those subjects. I never was good at writing or reading. But I never liked reading. And I know you guys, since you guys have like book clubs and these huge libraries, like Harry Potter for you guys were like such a big deal. And so for us, like, if you could afford the books, cool. But we were not into that. And I know, like, for example, in Mexico, you still are like, oh, you want to do arts? No. How are you going to live? Like, how is that going to pay for your bills? And I guess that's why Mexico has, like, it's so hard into do those subjects. Yeah,
like math and science and stuff like that.
Yeah. So that's what I think. I'm just...
No, I do agree because like my dad, like, he graduated in Juarez, and like he's always been really smart, like in math and science. And what I know, what he's told me that like, and I've seen that engineering wise, like Mexico, they're really proud of their engineers. They're really of what they produce. It's just that, I mean, just because of the country, the opportunities kind of like it's harder. Yeah, definitely. Over here, I mean, being in the U.S. and, you know, the whole tech boom that the United States has. Yeah. As it's...
all the funding, dude, like...
Oh, yeah, like the funding, I mean, funding-wise, innovation-wise, and, like, I want to say that, well, yeah, the government kind of, like, gives a lot to, like, schools to try to grow that amount of engineers. Like Mexico, and we know that Mexico, it struggles a lot with, like, money-wise.
Fundings,
But so for you, through college, like, I'm not changing completely the subject, but I'm like diving into like your college years. how was it for you living here, like on your own, and was it hard trying to like adapt and like start from like fresh into college without your family, or how was it?
You know what? Today we were talking about that, me and a friend. I already gave up my life back in Delicias. I already packed all my belongings and came to a different country. I know it's El Paso, but believe me, it's not the same. I already left my family behind me in another town. And I already went through all, I guess it's pain, I guess all the struggle. I did struggle. It was hard for me seeing my nieces grow up. One of them still, I mean, they're all still growing up, but my two nephews, they were like my brothers. I grew up with them, and now not having that relationship as close as we used to have, it's hard. And I know they had to grow up, and me not being there made it difficult, but I also feel like I matured a lot, like way too much. Like I was telling you, when I was younger, when I wanted to go to college, I was like, I need to go to this college. Like I want to do this college. And I never had into consideration my parents, how much they could do or how old they were. Like I guess everything to me looked so easy. And when I came to live here, and I came to live here by myself, I grew up tremendously. I feel like, I don't know, I guess it was just such a big thing for me doing everything by myself. I learned to be alone, which I absolutely adore. Like, I will never give up me being alone. Like, if I ever get married, it's gonna be like, bro, you got your own house. Like, let me live alone. You know, like, I love being alone. Although I did struggle, I guess it was one of the best experiences I have ever had. Yeah, so.
And what would you tell anybody that's like was in your situation and it's like second guessing coming here? Like if they have the chance and they're like, no, it's because I don't know, like I'm gonna leave my
Jump
family.
for it. Jump. Like do it because you're gonna regret it. I know people that have like they regretted it because is that the word? Regret it? No, ¿verdad?
Regret?
Like
regret it?
In the past?
Yeah, like I regret it. Doing this. Yeah.
Yeah?
I regret it. I regret it doing this. So it's like regretting.
Okay, yes, in the past.
I regret it not coming here. Yeah.
Yeah, okay.
Regret it.
So, I guess that, believe me, you're going to find so many opportunities and you're going to grow tremendously that you won't have that. And it doesn't have to be here. Like, just whatever you want to go, do it because you'll learn about yourself so much that you won't be able to staying in the same place. And it's not, there's nothing wrong with staying. It's just that I guess like it's something more faster. Like it's gonna be faster. You're gonna grow faster. You're gonna learn faster. And honestly, the things that are gonna come in your way, they're gonna amaze you and they're gonna scare you. But I wouldn't change it for the world, honestly.
Okay.
So just jump and do it.
You know what? Like I think, like for me, it took me like a long time to do like to learn that. And I agree completely. Like it becomes faster when you like jump the gun and you're like completely on your own.
Yeah.
And this is something that my mom talks about a lot. Like she has friends that they're not completely like American, like or they married an American man or woman,
resident.
Or they came like, but they're still like Mexican, but they have like a American or like traditional American partner.
Okay.
But like we talked that she mentions this a lot that her friend's partner would say like, oh, when they're 18, like they're out, like they're out of out, not kicking them out, but like out in the world.
Yes.
And like more and more I think about it, and I'm like that. I think I like that idea more, just because, like on my experience, like it took me a lot of time to mature and like learn some experiences that if I did that, like what you did, like you pick it up real quick because like I mean you're in the world. And I think, and do you think that the traditions of a like Hispanic family like limits us?
Yes, definitely. I do agree. And coming from a small town again, is like, oh, ¿cómo que ella vive sola? Like, how come she lives alone? Or like she has to be with her parents until she gets married. Or like and not necessarily that, but we are so tied into our families that a lot of times people second guess things because they don't want to hurt their family.
Oh, yeah.
So it's like, you know, they already lived their life. They already did their things.
Yeah.
Why are you gonna, like, you know, like, stop doing your stuff just because you might hurt someone?
Yeah.
Or they're gonna get over it and you're not, because you never got to do it. So I guess that's a good thing that we're so close to our families, but at the same time it's a bad thing. Yeah,
I agree. Like I like the idea of having like such a close family, but I mean there's a limit of how close you want them.
Exactly.
And like for example, like for me, like boundaries has not been like a topic of like me talking to people until like recently. And I know, I guess with us, it's like we know enough that our family loves us enough that we're gonna like create our own space, but they're gonna be offended at the moment, but they're not gonna be like, oh.
I get along way better with my family since I came here. Like, we have better relationships. I tell my brothers all the time that I love them. I hug them every time I see them, and I feel like if I were to stay there, that wouldn't have happened. So yeah, it's a good thing.
Okay, so we established how you came here, everything, academically, family-wise. So you did. I don't know if you mentioned it right now. But you studied mechanical engineering.
Yes.
And you graduated when?
2018.
Okay.
Oh my god, it's been such a long time.
It's been a while.
Yeah.
And so, tell us, like, how was it trying to get a job here, or the job that you're currently at right now? Like, how you came to be to that job? Okay,
so I think that's a very cool question, because I do have a lot to share about that. Being an engineer, a Latin engineer, and not only that, but being Mexican was hard. Yes, emotionally hard. Why? Because I had such an expectation of life, of being here. And I guess when you're a freshman, and then sophomore, and when you're a junior, you're like preparing for what's the world out there, for jobs and everything. So I started preparing myself with a couple of organizations, trying to get into the conferences, and trying to get an interview and stuff like that, putting myself out there, right? And you know, I had this opportunity of initiating co-initiating an organization, very important for you to, with a classmate of mine, and she had this whole idea, but I had a contact, and then we got all together, and things are starting to flow, and I learned a lot through that. I started going to conferences, and door after door was shutting down in my nose. They were so amazed with my resume, but as soon as they asked me, "Are you a U.S. citizen?" and I will say no, they had this like look in their face, like, "I'm so sorry." That was such a disappointment, because everybody was like, "What?" Like, oh my god! I remember this girl telling me, what was I was like, "Oh my god, this is the first time I see a resume from an engineer that has some experience in theater." And I'm like, "Yeah, I was a director in theater when I was in high school." And they're like, "What? Oh my god, that's so cool." It was ExxonMobil. It was ExxonMobil, I remember. And they're like, "Oh my god, oh, but you're Mexican national?" I was like, "Yeah, but I'm able to be here. Like, I do have all my documentation for, like, I'm legal, blah, blah, blah." And, well, what did you know? And yo, don't you? Like, okay, so I remember being at this conference in 2017, if I'm not mistaken. I just got my Snapchat telling me, like, the memories of that time. And I was in Austin, and we were at this conference, and everyone was just like shutting the door on me. And I was with my friend Katie, and she was she's a U.S. citizen, so she was getting like all the
Like the offers.
not the offers, but the like as soon as they hear it was a Mexican, they will turn to her as well, like only to her, and that was that felt really like brutal.
Mm-hmm.
And I remember feeling like crying. Like I was stressed. I was sad. I made all these efforts to go there,
Mm-hmm.
and everyone was turning their doors on me. So I went to the restroom. I cried for a couple of minutes, and then I was like, you know what? It's time to like wipe your tears and get out there and just keep trying. Just keep trying. So I literally like I got out of the restroom, and there was two what's called the companies, like one on my right side, one on my left side, and I just decided to go to the right side. And this company was TE Connectivity, which I feel so como grateful to it, because they made me win my confidence back again.
Yeah.
Because they start seeing my resume, and they're like, oh my God, you did this. Oh my God, you have this GPA. Oh my God, this and that. And I'm like, but I'm a Mexican national. Like, all here, like, trying not to say it. And she's like, and so what? Yo, what? Like, what are you saying? She's like, I'm inviting you to an after party that we're going to have. Please show up with this invitation. I'm like, oh my God, like, I got an interview and stuff. You know, it wasn't even an interview yet, but I was so excited.
Uh-huh.
So I get to go to the party. Dude, this is a cool story. But I'm just going to make it quick. I get to the party, I got there, I was like talking to people, and then I started talking about this organization of mine, and then someone like turns on me and started talking to me about it. And he seems so interested, and I was like, oh yeah, like, and then he's like, hey, I think Dr. I can't remember, but Dr. something. He's like, hey, doctor, I think you're gonna like these girls. Come over here and hear them out. Mm-hmm. And me and Kaden were talking. Yeah. And then he's like, well, I'm gonna let you guys with him because he's the one who like takes care of those things. Yeah. I need to go somewhere, right? And then, dude, the freaking like place is starting turning on the screens. Uh-huh. And it was this guy that was talking to us, talking on the screen, and then we see like on the bottom, CEO of TE Connectivity. And we're like, heck? Like, you know, we were like, what the hell just happened? So we were talking to the CEO, and then the Dr. Shao or something like that. Uh-huh. He's like, oh my God, like, yeah, I would like to talk to you tomorrow more. Please come to this conference that I'll be in at, and we'll talk about it later. We were so excited, and I can't even describe how like my confidence was. So yeah, people were turning me down. I got an internship with them, but then like I was telling you, I was very happy to live by the quote by Dr. Seuss, and I wanted to stand out. I came back to El Paso, came back to finish my degree, mm-hmm. and I had that offer for the summer for 2018. Yeah. So I got here on my last year. I was, you know what? I need to do something else. I need to do something that makes me stand out from my whole generation, which is like 120 people that are going to graduate. Mm-hmm. So besides being Mexican. So I literally started knocking on doors on the hallway that mechanical engineering has, literally like door by door, asking for an opportunity for research or something. And then I found Dr. Chesa, which I'm so grateful to. He helped me out getting a special project for my senior class. Yeah. I didn't take everybody else's senior class to graduate. I took a different special one. Mm-hmm. Exactly doing some research in copper material for Helen of Troy. Mm-hmm. So I was doing that research, and then I guess I got so confident when they had like a small conference here in UTEP. I went. I talked to the guys from Cardinal Health. They hired me. So I was balancing out like my part-time job. I was balancing out my research and also my co-op with Cardinal Health. Yeah. So that I guess everything was going great. I graduated. I learned that after my graduation, my visa has the opportunity to do 1 year of optional practical training. Mm-hmm. And besides, since I'm a STEM major, I had another 2 more years. So in total, 3 years more of a visa. When I finished my degree, of course, I need to transition into that, I guess, legal status. And that was like, I had to wait for 15 days, but Cardinal Health couldn't wait on me. So they let me go. And that was so, so sad. Just because I thought I had everything, like ready to go.
Yeah.
So when that happened, I literally felt so bad, but I was like, I'm not gonna let this down. Like, I had come so far. I actually say no to the T connectivity at the end, because they were like, you know what, we were gonna send you to Mexico for this opportunity, but then after that, we're gonna bring you back to California. And I was like, I'm scared of Sonora, like, with all due respect. But and I had this opportunity here with Cardinal Health, so I was like, I guess I'm just gonna balance things out, and I just got it what was best for me.
Yeah.
So when that happened, I had to move on to another job. I got a job in a company which I will not mention. I guess I'm so, like, such a nice person that I don't want them to get in trouble. But then I moved on to another company for a couple months. Everyone was so amazed that I was the only girl there, that I was so young and doing this thing. Like, I was probably the first, being so young and doing all these risky things, and everybody. Yeah, I remember my boss. She was so happy with me there. She wanted to help me so much.
Yeah.
She offered me so many things, like project wise, so I could move up.
Yeah.
Then after a couple months, unfortunately, the human resource guy, not even for like that plant, but like for the branches here in El Paso, he decided that anybody in the situation like me was not gonna have the opportunity to get a visa eventually. Okay. I didn't even had to ask him for a visa. I just needed him to sign off on paper saying that I was doing engineering related stuff, because my visa was sponsored by my own school. So he decided he was not going to do that. And I was like, I already wasted my time here for 4 months. Like, what? Why? Like, what happened? So my boss, she was so ashamed. And because she even was a Mexican national, but she naturalized through her husband. And she's like, tell me, what do I do? Like, how do I help you? And I was just like, I guess I got to figure it out.
Yeah.
So like they told me like on Monday, and I had an interview for Friday, and like I had a job by the next Monday with the company I am right now.
Okay.
I remember my boss, he also, I didn't want to do this to anybody, but when I told him that, you know what, I found a job and I need to go. He's like, oh, can you wait on us for 2 weeks? And I was like, my other job is not going to wait for me, and you guys kicked me out. I know it wasn't necessarily you, but I'll leave everything as much as I can, but I just can't wait on you guys.
Okay.
And sometimes we need to realize that sometimes we just become a number. So people hearing this out, always know your value. So yeah, I started working in where I am at. I know that was where I had to get to, like, my current job.
I mean, that's what we're trying to, like, get your story. Okay. And right now, do you like being a project manager? I
love it. Like, I noticed that it doesn't matter in the field I am. I love being a project manager, because I was doing that in college. And I did that at Helen of Troy. I did that in Cardinal Health. I didn't exactly did project management in that company that I was not going to mention, but I was like managing those kind of stuff. So I did like that. I just love it. I do.
Okay. Nice. I mean, that's what we're trying to do what we love.
Yeah, I enjoy it a lot, honestly. Sometimes it gets hard, but it's okay.
I mean, that's all jobs.
Yeah, right.
I can tell you that.
Yeah.
And how did you end up? So, like, you already had, I know the story, like, what we talked, but, like, you already had your job as a project manager.
Yes.
How did you jump into, like, opening the boutique, the North Glam?
Okay, so I guess I don't want to say my boutique was because of the pandemic, because it was not. Like, everybody opened a business, and it's not that I don't want to, like, be compared to anybody, but my family, all of them, they have, like, their own thing or their business. And both my mom and my brother, they're always like, I have seen them so free doing what they like.
Mm-hmm.
And I guess it got to a point where I also wanted to have something on my own.
Yeah.
And I was just thinking about things that I like doing and I'm good at. And at first I was thinking, remember when I was selling pies? When Cardinal Hall didn't get me back and I had to like struggle my way back to this other company.
Yeah.
I was thinking on pies because everybody loved my pies. Like, oh my God, I make such good pies, like Wawa pies. And I was like, what, should I do that? I was like, no, I think it's like a lot, like super time consuming and I don't have it. And then I'm always been told like I'm super good with gifts. Like I always like hit the spot of what people want. So I was just like, I guess I'll do like personalized gifts or personalized shopping for gifts. And then I was like, I'll start with that. And literally that was the first thing I did for a couple weeks. But then I was thinking, I'm gonna add clothes to the personalized gifts. I was like, what if I just sell clothes? And that's how it started. It took me I was talking to, I don't know who I was talking to, but it took me a couple of orders and suppliers for me to get to what I wanted to. Because at first, when I started selling, I didn't want to be too expensive.
Yeah.
I don't want it to. But then I was noticing that my suppliers were not that good. Or I couldn't find the style I liked.
Yeah.
So I started little by little just finding it and I really liked. And then I got these beautiful clients of mine. Like there's the best clients, super nice to me. And they were like keep asking me for more clothes or new styles and stuff. So they pushed me to grow. And that's when I decided, that was on September 2020. That's when I decided to open like not open my first, because it's not my boutique, but I opened it like I started having a showroom where to show my clothes. That was a year ago, September 2020.
I remember. Was it that when you were like asking me for the logo? Was it like after? I don't remember.
Was that for Honeybee? Is it first started as Honeybee?
Oh yeah, that's right. Okay, yeah.
But I think it was for Nordglam when I asked you. Yeah, because that's when September, and then we opened in October in Chihuahua. But that didn't last long. It's because it's hard for me not having like my clients near me, you know?
Yeah.
Because I was doing that in Delicias as well. Like it was three places, but my mom didn't have the time. She wanted to travel, la señorita on COVID. Like, the heck, mom? But she's just a young spirit. So I was like, you know what? I'm gonna take your time. Like, you already like worked your whole life. Like, just not.
Yeah.
So I never like officially opened in Delicias. But then in Chihuahua, it was hard for me to not have that touch with my client. Like, I think that's why it stands me out. Because I literally help my clients to decide on what to wear. Like, they'll ask me like, hey, like, how can I like this, but how can I reuse it, or how can I style it? So I had to close down in Chihuahua by like 6 months after. But then I stay here in Juarez. I moved to another place. I guess I found like my nicho. How would you say that?
Your niche?
But is that like a thing in English? Like,
yeah, like your specific like clientele?
Specific clients. Yeah, the people I wanted to target. That. So I have a second place in Juarez. It's very new. You know, you gotta struggle a little bit in the very beginning, but I'm finding their style, and I honestly sometimes right now the bridge is gonna open.
Oh my God, yeah.
I'm so scared like how it's gonna get, but
yeah, it's gonna be crazy.
Because I feel like my clients know my style, and you won't find that here. And then the prices are good, which is like, I'm not worried about that. I'm just worried about me going, you know? Like, I'm scared. But yeah, those are my thing with the boutique.
Okay, nice. I mean, I of what I've seen of what you've shown me, like the clothes, yeah, like it's really specific. It's not like just, you know, a general like store. It's just like, it's more specific. Like I want to say demographic or niche like style.
Yeah.
And I really like it. Just letting you know. But what would you tell like anybody that's like trying to like, you know, jump into opening something like that?
You know what? This is something I would like to mention, and I don't mean to offend anybody, but you always need to have something on your own. And you know what? I would like to jump into that.
Mm-hmm.
When I opened the boutique, I was like, I need to have something always for me, because you never know. I was already kicked out from a company. I mean, yeah, well, from first from Cardinal and the other one because of my citizenship. I was like, I'm not gonna let this happen to me again. I need to have something back home just in case. And not me trying to have a plan B because my plan A is not gonna succeed. Thankfully, I always have find a way. But it's good to have something, And that was one of the reasons as well, just because in that time when I opened it, I didn't have my work visa. I had my college visa. So I had to transition into that. So I think that unless you are the owner of something, it's yours.
Yeah.
Your job is not yours. It's gonna be someone else's someday. Yeah. If you move up, they're gonna put somebody else in that position. Don't take ever granted your job. And at the same time, don't take ever granted your paycheck. So that's why I decided to do it. Financial independence is very cool. I think it's a thing that not everybody can handle, but if you can, do it. Or if you think you can, there's so many first things that you're gonna fail to. Honestly, my first 2 years probably was not getting super good profits or anything, but at least I was getting to it,
Yeah.
And at the end of the day, I even enjoyed it. Even though I wasn't making a lot of money,
yeah,
I was enjoying it.
Well, how you said it, it's not a plan B. I want to say is now I see it another source of different streams of income. So I mean, if you knock on wood, if you lose your job, you have that, and you're doing
We're
your own
actually
stuff.
Knock on wood, bro.
This is not wood. This is not wood. Okay.
Está muy lejos.
But yeah, that's what I see it as. Not as a plan B, but more a second stream.
Exactly. At that time,
second stream of income.
I was so scared of the outcome of my visa, honestly, that I had to, think of something. But I never thought that it was gonna become this thing of mine. It makes me, I don't know, it makes me happy to do it. I really enjoy having my clients un mensajito and saying I really liked it, or they start recommending me. Dude, I think it happened this year when sometimes I have so many notifications of people tagging my page. It's oh my God, I can't believe I got to this point that I don't even have to promote myself. It just goes, So
that's
yes.
good. That's good. All right. Okay, before we end, tell us your socials for North Glam and for you to people to follow you.
Cool. That's quite. You know what? And I had another podcast a couple months ago, and I gave my all my social media wrong. But I guess right now you can find me on Instagram as @Berenice GMTZ. That's Bernice, but yeah, Berenice. Yeah. GMTZ as my last name. And as for North Glam, it's an RTH Glam, North without the O.
Yeah.
You'll find us that on Instagram, on Facebook. You'll find us as North Glam, or facebook.com/Northglam without the O. Okay. North Glam.
No worries. Yeah. I'll put it on right next to you.
Yeah, exactly.
Okay. Do you have any advice for anybody that wants to either go into engineering or start their business, or come to the US?
I guess I was talking to my boss right now. I was like, hey, I'm gonna go do a podcast tonight. And he's like, oh my God, what are you gonna talk about? I'm like, I don't know, they're gonna ask me questions. And out of the blue, he mentions there's no success without failures, and they go back hand in hand, and you need to fail in order to know or discover things with failures in order to get to success.
Yeah.
For anybody that wants to come to the US, and they have the opportunity to do it the right way, I guess. I mean, there's no right or wrong. I guess it's just the lawfully way.
Yeah.
Look at your best, and yeah. And if you want to do engineering, do it, because there's a lot of girls needing to put into our field. And as well, I guess just jump for things.
Okay. Jump just jump into it.
Yeah, just do it.
Okay. Well, thank you.
Thank you.
Jasmine Berenice Gomez Martinez.
7 years, dude. 7 years knowing each other, and you don't know my last names.
It's like I have Martinez too, so like, oh my gosh, shut up. But thank you so much for being here. I really appreciate it. And if anybody wants to ask anything to her, just follow her on Instagram. And thank you for everything.
Thank you. Have you guys a good morning, night, or evening?
Okay.
Tarde, whatever. Bye.
All right. Thank you, everybody, for listening. And I'll see you in the next one.